and for a regional strategy on maritime security at an engagement in Abuja facilitated by the ECOWAS Commission and the European Union. Impediments to the actualization of the regional objectives were analyzed. Kelvin Ehunwahe reports.
The Gulf of Guinea is an important shipping zone for the transport of goods to and from Europe and Asia, for international fishing, and most importantly for oil and gas. In the last 15 years, the region has also become one of the world's hotspots for maritime piracy and kidnapping. The economic losses from these criminalities to the coastal states of the sub-region is put at over $700 million annually by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. To combat these criminalities, ECOWAS launched its integrated maritime strategy in 2014. Since then, not much has been achieved. Now, the European Union has stepped in, bringing the 12 coastal states together and worked towards a final document to be presented to the various governments by the end of the year.
To make sure that there is a regular presence of naval ships from the European Union member states in the Gulf of Guinea.
Start the discussion and also get an agreement for the sharing of these reefs, and also try to develop the modalities of the training in the material and the way to capacitate the member states in order to be able to use them appropriately.
Each of the 12 coastal member states will receive 2 rigid-hull inflammable boats with modern equipment, with technical training by the Portuguese Camus Institute.
It has to be clear to the report. The ECOWAS Commission has already written to each government to request the waiver of import duty. And this should not be a problem, as long as procedures are followed and the relevant parties.
Representatives of the various countries are to reconvene in Abuja later in the year, with the hope that a clearer path to tackling its sub-region. In Abuja, Kelvin Ehunwahe, NTA News.
Training takes off in Abuja.
It is a periodic ritual for the Nigerian Army.
Comes from this workshop will contribute immensely to professionalism and readiness that are inclusive as cardinal pillars ready to accomplish a.
To strengthen the exercise, the Land Forces Simulation Center was established in 2019, a fundamental aspect of modern military operational planning.
Simulation, as we know, has become a veritable tool for armed forces worldwide to develop tactical, strategical, and doctrinal solutions, as well as offer users unique training experiences while saving both time and resources.
The center provides avenue to test technologies to boost troops' capacity to cope with emerging challenges. The training is focusing on using simulation technology in addressing contemporary security challenges in Nigeria. From the Land Forces Simulation Center in Giri, Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Today is actually World Awareness Mine Day, and it was declared in 2005 by the United Nations General Assembly, to observe that the International Day for Mine Awareness and Assistance in Mine Action should be taken very seriously. It called for continued efforts by states with the assistance of the United Nations and relevant organizations to foster the establishment and development of national mine action capacities in countries where mines and explosive remnants of war constitute a serious threat to the safety, health and lives of the civilian population. The UN aims for a world free of landmines and explosive remnants of war, where individuals and communities live in a safe environment conducive to development and where the needs of victims are met. So the theme for this year's 2022 Mine Awareness Day is Safe Ground, Safe Steps, Safe Home. Well, Nigeria as a country, we're confronted with security challenges. Creating such awareness is imperative. We have the Director General, Nigerian Army Resource Center, Abuja, Major General Garba Wahab. He joins me now via Zoom. Thank you very much for joining us on the news.
Thank you very much.
All right, now this is a very important day celebrated all over the world to create safe ground, safe steps and safe home. Now, Nigeria should not be left out on an important issue like this. What's the situation for Nigeria?
Thank you very much. And as far as I know, the Nigerian Army does not use mines
Well, we have remnants from the Civil War. And people need to be educated, need to be aware. It is part of the security awareness program we should be undertaking, so that people know that not only mines, but remnants of bombs will cause disaster to the environment and to individuals. And because of that, we need to take it seriously, particularly in the Southeast. It is also necessary for us to understand that improvised explosive devices being used by terrorists, insurgents, will also constitute part of what we are facing. So a lot of security awareness, a lot of security education is required for Nigerians to understand what we're talking about, and for them not to take it lightly, because each could be the difference between being alive and being dead.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned the Northeast, which is where we know terrorist attack is very prominent. And if we want to look at post-conflict situation there, you talked about awareness. What kind of risk education is happening down there? Because communities need to enjoy safe ground, safe steps, and safe home, of course.
Well, a lot of activities need to take place, not only by the military side, but even Ministry of Information, for instance. Thank God National Orientation Agency is doing so much. They need to look into this and take it as part of what they need to do. Maybe in form of jingles, in mosques, in churches, in schools. We need to tell people, look, when you see ordinary wires on the ground, don't just go around and start picking things. It might be dangerous to your health. So a lot of ideas, a lot of activities need to be done, but particularly from homes, schools, marketplaces, and through jingles, so that people are aware that a lot of these items are there and they could be dangerous to them and to the community.
But this kind of training, of course, involves the Nigerian Armed Forces directly. I remember last year, the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, engaged some communities in the Northeast on mine awareness training, to ensure that communities like that are free from such risk. Is there any collaboration happening?
Well, so much is happening. Not only Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, even the police. Police have a bomb disposal units that once in a while go around. So, but much more still need to be done for people to be aware. Don't see a wire in the Northeast and think you are picking something that you can sell, which will explode in your face. So these are some of the things that need to be done. Yes, periodically, those type of workshop activities, but we need to take it beyond just coming together in a group, teaching people, but take it to the marketplaces, take it to large gatherings where people will know that their life will be in danger. They need to be aware, not just waiting until we have a seminar or workshop to run through that. It's a continuous thing. It should be done on a regular basis.
As we round off this conversation, we just want to be clear for some Nigerians who may not be aware. Have we experienced such a situation in Nigeria before?
Well, immediately after the Civil War, even about 4 or 5 years back, and don't forget that even within the army barracks in Ikeja and Kaduna, there are some explosions, and it's part of what we're talking about. A bomb will explode not because it's been detonated, but because something happens or the heat around that general area becomes unbearable and the thing goes up. So a lot of such things that happened in the past, and so we need to have that at the back of our mind. It doesn't mean it is only where there are crises. Even in quiet places, it is possible for us to have explosions taking place, particularly where people are hoarding or taking what does not belong to them, where civilians are going around purchasing bombs, explosives. Even for quarries, we need to want to let people know that where people blast rocks, they use bombs. So these are things we need to educate ourselves on, not just only where there are crises.
All right, what's your final word for Nigerians, especially those in the Northeast who are faced directly and will definitely return to their communities, who see people already returning to their communities?
Well, we need to keep on believing in ourselves, trusting in ourselves, and listening to whatever security advices or tips being given to them, because periodically this is done through leaflets, through jingles. They should not discontinue social things, and where there are workshops and seminars for those who are supposed to attend, they should please attend and pass the messages It is not for you to attend a workshop and seminar. It is for you to be able to pass the messages to others so that they are aware. And that improves the security of the people and the government.
Thank you very much, Director General. Thank you for your time on the news.
Thank you very much.
All right, we've been looking at the World Mine Awareness Day, but we're heading to Lagos now to join Michael. Let's find out what's happening from his end.
Thank you, Ruth. Creating an enabling environment for youth to unleash their potential with a view to curbing idleness is a sure way to check in security and ensure economic development is actualized. This was the summation of Islamic scholars at this year's Ramadan lecture organized by NTA Lagos Channel 10. Musa Toliat reports.
Scholars at the lecture say Ramadan offers a veritable platform for spiritual awakening and to admonish political office holders on ways of curbing insecurity through youth empowerment and development. They believe that good neighborliness preached by Islam can also go a long way to ensuring sustainable peace across the country.
Those of us who are privileged should show kindness to the less privileged. As well, we do that. Nigeria will be a better place. There will be less crime.
Every youth should also have something doing. Have something positive doing. That way, if it is not paying now, somehow, somewhere, it is going to pay. It is better than you engaging in all wrongs to make something right.
The gathering lends support for religious tolerance and peaceful coexistence, which has been a core message of the Nigerian Television Authority.
God is the maker of the world. So if we do what God says, what else again? There will be peace, there will be joy. So I need to support it because this is one of the primary principles of NTA.
His message is for us to help each other, to feed those ones that don't have what to eat, to also be tolerant.
It's for our people to take full benefit of this holy month of Ramadan, to do all the needful.
We want people to believe that during the time of Ramadan, we need to assist people. We need to feed people. We need to encourage other people who are very rich to do good to who are less privileged.
In the spirit of giving and delighting the downtrodden in the month of Ramadan, 6 indigent residents were given various empowerment equipment to turn their fortunes around. There were side attractions in accordance with Islamic dictates and injunctions. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
Although Lagos State is leading a vanguard of increasing the functionality of primary health care centers, key players in the health sector are advocating that the professional competency of personnel at these facilities should be prioritized. Taking qualitative and affordable healthcare services to the doorstep of the people inspired the establishment of the primary healthcare system in Nigeria. Out of the 30,000 basic and comprehensive healthcare facilities spread across these 774 local government areas in Nigeria, Metropolitan Lagos can only boast a rapidly growing population of more than 20 million people. Although this negates the goal of accessibility, but there are more contending issues revolving around the effective functionality of these facilities.
The recommended ratio of doctor to patient, as recommended by World Health Organization, the organization is 1 doctor to 600 patients. Beyond equipment, beyond the facilities, manpower is very important.
Sunday is a coupler in one of the traffic reading locations in Lagos. He can only receive emergency treatment within his environment, but his first visit to a primary health care center about 4 years ago happens to be his last.
The environment is not looking good then. We have to refer to go to pharmacy. They don't have much drugs here to take care of the patients.
Interventions like the National Basic Healthcare Provision Fund and periodic evaluation measures instituted by the federal and state governments have improved performance index at least by 20%. This figure is an indication that there is a consistent initiative to revitalize the primary health care delivery system across the country.
So we still need more doctors, we still need more healthcare workers. So the waiting time is reduced now. People now, also other facilities are also being, we have flagship PHCs that run 24 hours with the doctors and staff complement all available.
A good instance is at Lagos Island local government, where a state of emergency has been declared in the primary healthcare sector with the sole aim of revitalizing the system for greater efficiency.
All our primary health centers would be running 24 hours with full capacity and all the equipment guaranteed.
The starting point to boost performance of the health sector, experts say, is to institutionalize a robust management system that can effectively cater for the wellness of the citizens through service delivery of the primary healthcare centers in the country. Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on YouTube at NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page at NTA Network News, Twitter handle at NTA News Online, and on Instagram at NTA Network for updates. Let's join Ogochukwu in Benin after this break. Please stay.
The Nigerian aviation sector is rapidly growing with the construction of new international airport terminals in several regions of the country. The new Murtala Mohammed International Airport has an estimated passenger increase of 30 million annually and 15 million for Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Malam Aminu Kano International Airport is also expected to open new frontiers for the region with more travel capacity for the annual Hajj, while the new Akanu Ibiam International Airport, Enugu, avails more business opportunities connecting the industrial cities in the region to the world. These new terminals beat world-class standards